You're welcome to My Father Taught Me series, Volume 1, Sifting the Truth Between Science and Religion. The Kingdom of the Most High is within you. Now, Series 22, titled The Spiritual Inward and Outward Man. Welcome to Series 22, which is a continuation of Series 21, concerning the 7 principal receptacle members of the human body. To refresh our minds, we have represented the order of the list of these principal members as earlier displayed and again in this Series 22 for some reasons. In these principal members listed below, we have talked about the most important ones in their order up to sense of taste. So, the 7 principal members of the human body, just for refreshment, is number 1, sight, which is vision, hearing, auditory, smell, olfactory. 4, taste, gustatory. Number 5, touch, tactile. Number 6, vestibular, that's movement. While number 7 is proprioception, is body position. Beloved brethren, at this point, we should bear in mind that the outward members of the human being represent the outward man, which Apostle Paul keeps talking about. The question is, what is so unwieldy about this outward man? Answer: the model of the kingdom of the Most High formed in us is influenced by 2 parts. One part is the inward man, the other part is the outward man. Kindly permit us to explain this. The inward man works strictly according to the command of the Spirit of the Most High and keeps the law with utmost discipline. It carries out its duties within the kingdom diligently, faithfully, accepting no iota of distraction whatsoever in the model kingdom within us. Just like our heart pumps the blood all over the body responsibly, according to the command given to the heart from the day we were born, the law is upheld faithfully for life. So when we talk about the heart, let us use science language to describe the heart so that we can get the import of the heart when we mention it spiritually. So science language states that the heart pumps oxygenated blood to the other body parts, pumps hormones and other vital substances to different parts of the body, receiving the oxygenated blood and carrying metabolic waste products from the body and pumping it to the lungs for oxygenation. This is called from a science journal of July 2, 2020. Apart from that, air passes through the nostrils, which is the breath of life, which was given, and through the lungs, air is circulated all over the body system. Now, science language went further to describe the lungs and its function as that lungs' main function is to help oxygen from the air we breathe enter the red cells in the blood. And red blood cells then carry oxygen around the body to be used in the cells found in our body. The lungs also help the body to get rid of CO2, that's carbon dioxide gas, when we breathe out. The above two examples give us an idea of how the inward man works undistracted in his duties by other parts of the outward man, which is akin to when Adam was concentrating on his duties to dress and keep the Garden of Eden. Though the most subtle of all the beasts, the serpent, was around, but out there in the field. You could not veer Adam, who was inside in the Garden of Eden, manning his duties. Just as our internal working system is outside the reach of the serpent, that's where soul dwells. But Eve, being outside in the field, was exposed. Just as our receptacle members of our body are exposed to external things. And the inexperienced Eve was beguiled by the serpent, who used the power of words of distractions to convince Eve. The serpent could not have dared to go near Adam because, one, Adam was minding his father's business inside the Garden of Eden, given to him to dress and keep. He was not in the field at that point in time. He was obedient to the commandment given to him by the Most High. Adam then, allegorically, was the inner man in the Garden of Eden. The outer man within the space of the inner man. The outer man within the space of the inner man was out in the field, like our 7 principal outward members of our human body receptacles, having access to all external signals. Then, here comes the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. Eve, out there in the field, who met the most subtle beast, the serpent, in the field, away from the inside of the garden. Away from the inside of the Garden of Eden. Note that Adam was not there with Eve during the encounter with the serpent. Also note the word man, soul man, used so far and spiritually in all of My Father Taught Me series has no gender place. Just as Christ has explained about gender to us in the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 30. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of the Most High in heaven. So anytime we use the word soul man, we are neither talking of a woman or a man. We are talking of a soul man, which is genderless, but like angels are. It might also interest us from the following tracts in the scriptures to note that Adam had probably identified the nature of the serpent, which name Adam probably gave him as serpent because the serpent was described as beast and also always described as beast in the field, presumably in the outside of the Garden of Eden, because the Most High put Adam in the Garden of Eden specifically to dress and keep it. The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 15. And the Most High took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 20 also says, And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet for him. This was before Eve was formed from Adam. So Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 states, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, Ye, had the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Adam, in the Garden of Eden specifically, in keeping the commandments given to him by the Most High, is similar to the kingdom of the Most High within us, being represented by the working harmony of the human internal working members, inward man, in the Garden of Eden. Whilst our external body members, the utmost gift by the Most High to the soul man to dress and keep the Garden of Eden of the flesh and blood. And hence, in our Christ prayer, we say, Give us our daily bread. That's in Matthew chapter 6, verse 11. Give us this day our daily bread, i.e., our daily bread to dress and keep this model kingdom that was fearfully and wonderfully made and given free to every man. Similarly also, the 7 principal receptacle members of the human body, like the outward man, is always in the field in outward contact with the beauty of creations, meant for the purpose of worship of the Most High only, even in the presence of the serpent, as in the book of Psalms 23, verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Those are spiritual, deep words of the description of the presence of the enemy while the Most High has prepared a table before us. And of course, the serpent in his domain of deceit usually confuses the outward man with subtleties of distractions away from the commandments of the Most High. And sometimes, at such points in time, man gets confused, like Eve, with this subtlety of the serpent stated below. It went like this. Did the Most High really say you will die if you break the law, the commandment? However, the above battle of subtleties of the serpent was what disturbed Apostle Paul, who got agitated to the point of saying in the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 24, I read, O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Because all actions of the serpent leads to death. Because it leads to sin. And any soul that sinneth shall surely die. Note that the field is the serpent's terrain of comfort since in the beginning. Having explained the above, let us continue in order to complete our discussions on the importance of the remaining principal members of the human body, with relevant summary of just 3 principal members of the human body earlier or partly treated here. So here we go. Number 1, sight. The eye of the body is the first to see every physical entity out there in the field of the Garden of Eden. Therefore, the eye is the first witness of or to the body and its surrounding, and feeds back to the inward man to compare and make sense of what the eyes present to the body. Hence, scripture verses that refer to the word eyes in a number of times as stated as follows. Discussed most often in the books of Psalms 42 times, Genesis 37 times, Isaiah 35 times. Eyes mentioned in 49 books and occurs 478 times in the scripture. Next is hearing. So one will say hearing is the second witness to the body in terms of the nature of what science describes as vibrations in the surrounding, to help eyes focus on priorities on behalf of the human body, and thereby helping to protect the body from possible harm. So this is science description of the next, which is hearing. So hearing or auditory perception, according to science, which is of the spiritual equivalent of the manifestation of the outer man from spiritual viewpoint, was described by science as the ability to perceive sounds by detecting vibrations, changes in the pressure of the surrounding medium through time and through an organ such as the ear. Further described as auditory, by which sound may be heard through solid, liquid, or gaseous matter. 3. The next is smell. Smell is like a spiritual utmost in sacrifice, in love, that produces a sweet savour to the Most High. According to the book of 2 Corinthians 2, verse 15, for we are unto the Most High a sweet savour of Christ in them that are saved and in them that perish. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. So, sweet savour is the ultimate sacrifice before the Most High. So, the savour was allegorically related to the sense of taste, which is one of the principal human members. So, let's describe what taste is about. Let's first of all talk about spiritual taste, as stated in Psalm 34, verse 8. It states, O taste and see that the Most High is good. Blessed is the man that trusted in him. However, science will describe taste as the sensation of flavor perceived in the mouth and throat on contact with a substance. So we are left with items 5 to 7 of the receptacles, the receptacle members of the human body, which will be treated in the next series. Thank you for listening and remain blessed. My name is Steve Emmanuel Mojugbe, messenger, author, Nigerian, mftmseries.com. Copyrights reserved. Books published by Amazon Worldwide. Thank you for listening.